There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonko table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonko table, the table that will make their dreams come true.
Yo, everyone. That is the voice of your Yonko host, Dr. J. Saturni, and we are back yet again for some Last of Us greatness. We are on Last of Us episode 4 of the hit new HBO adaptation of the hit video game series. This one was on the shorter end compared to the previous episodes. It was only 45 minutes long. Most episodes of The Last of Us have either been around the 55 to hour and 10 minute mark. These episodes have been beefy, and I think this has been the shortest so far, and I think it is the shortest out of all the episodes, like, period. Even of whatever we get later on, I think it is listed as the shortest episode. So we're gonna deep dive this bad boy. It looks like they added some expansive material to the group that Joel and Ellie encounter on their way to Wyoming. I have some thoughts on the expansion, whether or not it's necessary, but we'll deep dive that in a minute. With me, as always, is fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop. Grandmaster, are you a Chef Boyardee stan? Did you like their ravioli? Give me the formuoli.
How do you say that name? What's that name?
What's your name?
How do you say the chef's name?
Chef Boyardee?
Chef Boyardee?
Yeah. How do you say it?
Chef Boyardee. I couldn't tell what you were saying.
Sure.
The point is, it's there for a reason. I think you know why.
Why?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, never mind. But we are not alone in this endeavor as well. We have Supernovas here to deep dive episode 4 of The Last of Us today. And let's get into it. So, again, shortest episode. So I feel like, we'll probably breeze through this relatively quickly. Seems to be like a Joel and Ellie centered episode, kind of like, tagging along with them on their journey as they go to Wyoming. But then there's a portion of the episode that focuses in on the group that they encounter that causes them to get sidetracked or get a detour. I guess their involvement overall, I guess for the episode in general, I think this is probably the weakest episode out of what we have so far. And I say weakest because I liked the Joel and Ellie moments. I liked it when they're trading, jokes and, she's giving Joel a bunch of puns. I like the diarrhea one. It runs in your genes or something. It's hereditary. I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, this whole thing with the expansive material with the group that they encounter, I honestly didn't like it. I thought it was just unneeded. You didn't need to humanize the bandits that they bumped into. What did you guys think overall? Did you like this episode in general? Did you like how they're expanding this material in the game? Or, if you haven't played the game, did you even like this story in general? What did you guys think overall?
So I agree with you in that this out of the 4 episodes, this is the weakest. I do agree with you on that. Sure, like I liked I liked what they did with the group, like the trying to humanize them a bit. Like, again, we're in a post-apocalyptic world where really everyone's just trying to survive to a certain degree. Granted, there's also, it seems like, some degree of like a personal grudge going on there and like a huge misunderstanding that it's basically going on, because It's like they were just thinking, oh, this guy is affiliated to Henry, that's why they stopped him, possibly, and like it all went to shit, and now it's like you got this big misunderstanding. But at the same time, it could have been that they were just looters at the same, like, I don't know. It was I was fine with it. didn't adore it, didn't dislike it. But yeah, the best moments of the episode were the Joel Ellie centered moments. By far, those are the best parts of the episode.
Right.
The little jokes, or even just kind of Joel being a little bit more open and actually worrying about Ellie for the first time.
Yes.
Which was, you see the human side of Joel, and that was really, really good. And you also see like kind of like the little girl side of Ellie, you know, in a way, because Ellie's always like the pompous, oh, like fuck you, fuck that, and all that. But
yeah.
behind all that rebelliousness, there's a like a normal teenage girl there.
She's still a kid.
She's still a kid, and it's like we saw that in this episode.
Right. Grandmaster, were you gonna say something, or are you gonna stuff your face?
I don't like how y'all lead with calling this the weakest episode. I don't think that's
because it is.
No, but
like it don't get like
it's not saying that it's bad. It's not a bad episode.
I hear you, but what you failed. Well, I think when you lead one, don't. I think when you lead in saying it's the weakest, it sounds bad. First of all, yeah, it's a negative connotative word, so it is. What I look at this as is just a transition episode. This is a very set up episode. This episode definitely sets up, what's going on, what they need to do, and the whole shebang. So that's how I view this episode. Give me 1 second.
Yes, putting your thoughts together. Listen, saying it's the weakest, I mean, I guess it's a negative to say that, but that doesn't mean it was bad. I think compared to the previous episodes, you had more tightly written stories, whether there was expansive material or not. This one, I didn't like when they started showing like, Kathleen and the whole mystery of like Henry, and she's putting a gun to the doctor's head and all that. I'll be honest, I really didn't care. I was just kind of like, what is this? All right. And then I started thinking, are these supposed to be the bandits that Joel and Ellie encountered that stopped their progress? And then once I pieced that together, I was like, wow, so they're trying to humanize the characters that, stopped them in the game, which, I mean, if you haven't played the game, you wouldn't know. But seeing it from that lens, I'm like, I don't know if I really care about this expansive material. To me, this doesn't, what it does for me, it doesn't really expand on what was needed. It just kind of takes it in a different direction. And I'm just kind of indifferent to it. It's like, it's not bad. It's just, I'm just, it's there. It's there.
It may not be bad, but it just sounds bad when you lead with weakest. I just, as a non-gamer, and again, for a story like this, and especially because for the fact that it comes from a game, you have to just look at it as a whole, I feel. And this was just a transition episode. We get more time with Joel and Ellie, which again, clear highlight of the episode. And then everything else is a question mark because you don't know the situation in Kansas City. You don't know what's going on with this girl, Kathleen. And then obviously with the ending, you don't know what's going on there. Y'all probably have a better idea because I think these two characters that show up at the end are part of the game. But for me as a non-gamer, I'm sure many fans, I'm okay with everything that happened in this episode. Episode 3 obviously is a very high point, I'm sure, and it probably will be because it's not an episode that progresses the story linearly. It just really gives you a contextual episode that builds upon the character of Bill and Frank. So I understand. I know why you're calling it the weakest episode.
Let me ask you this. How would you rank the episode so far?
I haven't even ranked any of them, to be honest, like that.
I'll help you out. You likely have number 3 at the top.
Sure, but that's the thing. I don't like getting into this comparison thing. I just am here for
Compare the previous episodes to episode 3?
Listen,
or episode 4?
My individual experience with each episode is gonna differ. And yes, episode 3, my experience is probably emotionally the highest with that one. However, this is one continuous story. Whether an episode decides to give you context, as in episode 3 did, or it is progressing linearly, which is what this did. I'm not sitting here trying to be like, this episode was the weakest, this one was the strongest. No, it's still just one linear story. And as a non-gamer, I recognize that this was just a transition episode. It's setting up where we are. It's setting up the conflict at hand. It's giving us some character interactions and what will eventually be some giant conversion of this I don't even know what to call them, people, as Joel says. We're gonna converge with that group, Joel, and now this new group who's got him at gunpoint by the end. That's how I look at a story like this.
So I'm gonna both agree and disagree with Grandmaster Hoop here. So I agree. I can agree that this is a transition episode. That maybe like further down the line, we're going to say like, wow, like this episode was actually important because it built up the story to this length. That's fine. Like, and again, I have no like huge gripes with this episode. I like the episode, but I do disagree that you're saying like it's bad for you to like rank the episodes and see the comparisons. Like I'm not looking for comparisons, but you're going to make comparisons in every series, including this one, and especially after such a great episode that was the last week's episode. It's impossible to not compare them. Granted, I'm not looking to do that. I'm not like seeing this episode saying I am going to compare this episode, but you do. It's as simple as that, and that happens with every series. And if we're gonna like after seeing this episode, comparing to how I felt with the previous 3 episodes, I do agree that it is the weakest of the 4. Now, when I say weakest, I don't say bad, because again, let's say the others were 10s and 9s. This is maybe an 8. Like an 8 is still really good.
Again, all this is fine, but for me, when you have a serial show that works in serialization versus a show that is episodic shows are very easy to rank. You can compare and make comparisons. I guess when you throw in the word weakest, though, it is becoming a rank. But with a serialized show, I try not to rank episodes simply because it's going, I rather rank the seasons versus the episodes themselves, because I know this is a transition episode. Transition episodes are not going to hit as hard in comparison to episodes like last week. And that is why I just watch it. I'm just like, it's a transition. I know I'm going to be fed something later on. Still enjoyed it, but I don't want to sit here and just do a ranking game because it's unfair. Someone's got to bite. Someone's got to, whatever this saying is, someone's got to be the transition or the setup for the punchline. Haha, punchline. This episode had some punchlines. There's always going to be an episode that's going to have to be the setup. And, I think it's almost unfair because, in a perfect world, you don't need setup. But
I think the biggest problem with this episode is that with the episode so far, you didn't necessarily need to, I guess, have like a part 1 or part 2 setup yet. Not saying that's a bad thing to have, but like take, for example, episode 1. It had its, I guess, plot with, the flashback to, I guess not flashback, but origin story with Joel and his daughter and how, that ended up and how the outbreak started. And then you have episode 2 where it focuses on Tess and Tess's death and everything. Episode 3, Bill and Frank, that was the entire episode. With this one, I guess it's kind of like almost a knee-jerk reaction because it's like you're not used to setup where an episode is just exclusively used to set up the next arc, I guess, if that makes sense for the season. This is something that's setting up the next arc, which I imagine is probably only going to be 2 episodes. It's just one thing I didn't like is, and I kind of excused last week's episode from doing it because I thought the entire story of Bill and Frank kind of was the substitute for it. There was no like flashback. There was no
This
like
was the
little
first episode that didn't have a flashback.
Right, yeah, there was so like episode 1 had the interview, episode 2 had the Indonesian scientist, and then the third episode, it didn't have that, but it had like the Bill and Frank stuff, which kind of, you know, it went back to Bill and Frank and, you know, that whole roundup of the town from Fedra and how they executed those people, and then it showed you the gradual decline afterwards from that with Bill. So for that one, I excused it because it was like, oh, it's not the same thing, but it's something different. Episode 4, it looks like from here, they're just pretty much dropping that idea. I guess we'll really know with episode 5 and maybe 6 to really, home in on if that's a thing. But yeah, I kind of thought those moments made the episode stand out a little bit more.
I'm okay with no flashbacks here, simply because it subverts expectations. Because now you had an expectation of a flashback, and I was like, okay, there's no flashback. Oh, more Joel and Ellie. I'll take it, because every episode that has featured a flashback, it takes away from them. And to be honest, we haven't seen kind of much of them. This episode really honed in on them. So I was okay with no flashback, because now it makes me think, well, who knows what they'll do? Maybe they'll do a flashback. Maybe they'll do let's hop in and check in on Tommy.
Yeah,
and
it's
what
like
he's doing.
it switches things up. I wasn't like affected that there wasn't a flashback. Was I surprised? Yeah, a little bit. Not affected. So, but it's cool that it's not gonna become like a recurrent. Like they're not gonna have like recurrent themes throughout every friggin' every episode. And so they kind of keep you on your toes on what you want to what you're gonna expect or not, which I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
Granted, the thing is that the flashbacks in the previous 3 episodes were really good. So it was like they always set the tone for the episode. So this episode, we didn't know what to expect in that sense, because there wasn't any flashbacks to set the tone.
Before I forget, because I know I'm gonna forget, I thought this was really cool. I don't know what his name is, but like the leader, the head, the right wing man of Kathleen,
Perry.
the guy with the beard, Perry. That's the guy that does Tommy from the video games.
Oh, really?
Yes, he does Tommy, and you hear it in his voice too. Like if you listen real closely, like he has the same like deep tone and country accent as Tommy. I thought that was cool.
That is cool. Oh gosh, I don't know if you want to talk about it more, but I know other cast members are going to appear from the game in the show.
So we talked about it in episode 1. The actress that plays Marlene in the live action
is the same
from the video game. But with Perry, they did the whole switcheroo. Now it's, instead of the guy who played Tommy in the game is playing this new character that we've never, it's a new character for the show, Perry. And that's interesting because it makes me wonder, okay, so who else are they bringing back? I haven't looked up any of the other actors or actresses that may be returning, nor do I want to. I kind of want to be surprised a little bit, because I wasn't expecting that with Perry. I'm like, oh wow, that's Tommy. I would think they would bring him back to play Tommy, but sure. The guy they got to play Tommy in the live action right now, he's doing a great job from what we've seen him as Tommy. But him, the guy as Perry now, I think that's pretty cool. I wonder what they're gonna do with the character, because it'd be weird if you bring someone like that from the original cast and not do something significant with them in the adaptation. So I think Perry's going to be significant in some way. What way, I don't know, but
Would
that
you
would be
like
nice
to
to
know
see.
another who's gonna show? Oh, but again, I don't know who they're gonna play or anything, or whether or not it's an in-game character or a new character.
Are you just going to name one?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. I feel it's obvious who they're bringing.
Troy Baker?
Yes, Troy Baker.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes,
but you
yes.
don't know what they're coming back as.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I
And
mean,
even if I
obviously
saw a
not
name-
Joel.
Even if I saw a name, I wouldn't know if it's again an in-game character or made for TV. But I did read Troy Baker has a role, which is cool because again, it's like, hey, we don't want you for Joel because we're going in this direction, but we value you. Come be part of it.
Right. I think that's cool. I don't know of any characters that Joel could play from this point of the story onward. I'm sorry, Troy Baker, to play from this moment onward. So I guess that'll be something interesting to see. What do they have for him when the time comes? So I'll definitely keep my eyes open for him. But yeah, I guess just going back to the episode, the Joel and Ellie moments were supreme. That moment where they get basically steamrolled into the building from the bandits. I guess they're not bandits. They're the resistance of the Fedra group, which I like that idea a little bit. But that whole sequence where like Joel is kind of telling Ellie to leave, and the whole thing with the gun, and what Ellie like paralyzes the guy unintentionally, but he's like,
Well,
I can't feel my legs.
There's some buildup there because Ellie in the beginning was playing with the gun.
Right, that was the
looking
gun
in the
that she
mirror.
had from the previous episode.
Right, and she's looking in the mirror, like bang, bang, and it's kind of like there's innocence there,
She does not understand the danger of a
Right.
weapon.
Right, and then throughout the earlier parts of the episode, it's like Joel's like, or she's like, why are we pulling off to the road? Are you worried about infected? And he's like, no, I'm worried about people, and she's like, why? What are people going to do? Rob us? And he's like, no, they're going to do a lot worse than rob us, and I think he meant worse things than killing, to be honest, like inhumane acts, and whatnot. And so you see this innocence of Ellie, and then the joke book. She's got the joke book. She found the porn mag, and then that scene where the moment comes for her to lose her innocence. I mean, even too, again, like the guy, help me, and
My
are you
name's
gonna help
Brian.
him? Are you?
Oh, you mean when they were driving,
Yeah,
driving.
in the truck, and she she's ready to help him. He looks in pain, and then it's like, this is not how this world works.
Joel said, strap in.
Right. And then literally she's called to the forefront to put that innocence away. Because if you don't step up right now, Joel is dead. And I thought build up that was done really well. Because oh God, I thought she was gonna accidentally shoot Joel, which I mean, of course.
Oh my
probably,
God, if she missed that shot.
I was really worried. And ideally, you probably should have gone for the head, but that was probably a really bad angle. But she hit the spine. I don't think that was intentional to hit his spine.
Oh no, she just shot the back. She didn't.
Exactly. So
I'm just gonna shoot somewhere in the center, and
she's like, I just gotta hit him, right? And Joel's free. If I hit him, Joel's free. And then I think Joel's reaction is perfect too, because she's like shaking, like it hits her that she just paralyzed that guy. But in the back of her mind, she's trying to hold on. Yes, I saved Joel, but then at the same time, her face just says, "Oh damn, I hurt this person. This is what it takes to live in this world." And Joel notices that, and he's like, "Go back in the hole."
Get back over there. I think a part of her, because I mean, at that point, the guy was begging. He was saying, "I'm sorry. My name's Brian. What's your name? We'll let you through." Like the man is just like basically groveling at that point. And I think a part of Ellie, what like kind of wanted to listen, to like kind of accept that and be like, okay, no, he learned his lesson. I mean, he lost his legs, but he learned his lesson. We don't have to take it any farther than this. But I think she slowly started to realize what put him in that situation, which was everything that led up. I mean, they were shooting at them, and that guy was about to kill Joel. And I think the final, like, I guess, push that she needed was for Joel to tell her, get back in the hole. And she took that as an opportunity to escape that situation. She's like, all right, no, I'll let Joel take care of it. I'm out. I'm going.
Let me ask real quick: is that from the game? Is that like directly from the game? Is there a scene like that?
I don't think this moment happens at this time in the game. I think there's a sequence much later. And again, I may be mixing up when certain things happen, but I remember something similar happening where it's like Joel, I think he's getting like drowned like in like a pool of water, and Ellie has to come in and like basically stab or shoot the person on top of him. I think that's supposed to be this moment, but I don't remember it happening this early, where Ellie did that. But Ellie didn't even like paralyze the person in the game, whoever it was that she had to harm to get them to let go of Joel. I think she just outright killed them in the game. And this one, it was just this, the spine.
I think it just adds, as you said, the moment he starts begging, it kind of takes everybody out of this fight for survival. Yeah. And it brings back the humanity of it all. Like, at the end of the day, this is just a person who was trying to survive, not necessarily attacking them antagonistically, but like, they didn't know who they were. They didn't know if they were coming to get the resources. And now he's out here begging for his life, saying, I have a mom. She'll trade with you,
You can barter with her. She'll give you discounts.
And then he starts screaming for his mom when Ellie's back in the hole.
God, yeah, that was rough.
I think that was a really good. I thought that was a
good. I like those moments. Don't get me wrong. Like those were probably the strongest
really good
parts of the episode. Because again, it's showing more of the relationship between Joel and Ellie. And, you kind of saw moments of that with Joel, like even before that, where, he kind of wants to shield her away from certain things, like certain scenes.
The porno mag.
Or little things like the porno mag. She's like, oh, put that away. What are you doing? And she's like, why are the pages stuck together? That was from the game. I do remember that line. That's in the game. That's in the game. Yeah, literally like shot for shot, the same exact scene and the same dialogue. So that was funny. But yeah, no, you have that. And I guess let me ask you this, because this is around the time where, you get these moments with Ellie and Joel, and they're really good moments, like, with the whole gun scene and the whole thing with the forest, and, she's asking about, what kind of people are out there. Once the episode transitions into the Kathleen bit with, like basically the QZ zone was overthrown by a resistance. So now it's the resistance that overtook the QZ. What did you guys think overall about this segment of the story? Where, like, I was liking the Joel and Ellie moments a lot, and whenever it shifted to this, I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a pace breaker, because it's kind of you piecing together like, okay, what's going on? Is this the same group? What's this story about the doctor? And I delivered you. You don't have what it takes to kill me. And I mean, what did you think overall about this specific sequence, like with Kathleen and the resistance?
Well, for me, I'm, again, non-gamer. So, I don't have the expectation of, if they're adapting a character or if they're adapting a story. For me, they just got to deliver. The performance has to deliver. And I have to be invested in, whatever the mystery is at hand. I can't say I was definitely as engaged in this moment. Maybe it's because how shrill of a voice Kathleen has. And maybe that's unfair.
It's kind of like elementary school teacher ish.
I don't even know how to describe it. But,
I know what you're talking about. She has this voice where I'm like, I don't know if I can take her seriously a little bit.
Yeah, she's not threatening.
Like, this is the woman that she's the leader that overthrew a Fedra QZ, and that's big. They're a militarized group, and it's like, I'm not believing it in a way, and I don't know. I'm just not feeling it with this person that actually did that.
Right. So yeah, I wasn't right off rip like invested or like sold by whatever she's got going on. So I was like, let's keep the story going. Maybe as time goes on, I'll be more invested into what's going on. I just feel they didn't answer a lot of questions. So I'm over here again, more of a big question mark, and I'm still waiting to see if our time spent here is going to be worth it. So during those sequences, no, I was very much, all right, I want to see what Joel and Ellie are doing, because there's a lot of people here. How are they going to get out of that?
It was kind of, to a certain extent, like such a really good moment with Joel and Ellie, that it switches to like, yeah, these people. And yeah, like putting all the concerns that you guys are putting out. Yeah, it kind of threw me off, and like my interest waned a bit. I wasn't like leaning forward with Ellie and Joel. They came on sitting up straight.
You were laxed.
I was laxed.
To be honest, yeah, same.
And again, not bad. Like the scene where she's with the doctor, like the doctor's like, dude, like I freaking delivered you. I held you in my arms and you're pointing a freaking gun at me. Like, what the hell is happening here? And like, so you just say like, this Henry dude did something. We don't know what Henry did, but Henry done fucked up, possibly. And she's pissed. She's super freaking pissed. And we know that she's out to get Henry. And immediately, like, these three people die, and the first thing she thinks, oh, this is a merc. It's Henry.
It must be.
It must be Henry.
This is where this episode 5 really needs to sell me on like what versions of Henry and Sam this is, because I'm thinking like, you really think Henry's doing all this?
No, and and then fast forward a little bit. They're going with like her right-hand man, right?
Yeah.
They see like this kid's room that obviously is Henry's son that we learn about later. And then they go
his
like
son or
his name, like the kid's name is Sam. That's all I know.
Okay.
And then like they go down to like a basement, and there's like something brewing there in that basement. It's like
was crazy.
That had me. Okay, that I was like,
it's like it's breathing.
Yeah, like, I was like, what's going on here?
And then it's like,
what do you want us to do?
And no, he's like,
don't tell anyone. Just seal it.
It's like, when the fuck are we gonna tell everyone about like this monster that's breathing? And she's like, later, because and in my mind,
we gotta find
like,
Sam.
It's like,
is it really that
important? We gotta kill Henry. It's like,
I'm gonna say, yeah, Henry.
No, it's like you want to kill Henry, a single man, but there's a monster here that like that monster breathing is moving concrete. The pavement.
Right.
It was concrete, right? Like
that was concrete.
I'm like, the priorities. What is this?
This is where I'm like, episode 5 needs to justify Kathleen's choices in this in episode 4.
It's
I'm just not buying this.
It's nonsensical. It's like, again, you're the leader that brought down Fedra. Like, you have to be
That's
a big
big.
guy. You're a leader, and there's a monster that is there, and the monster's not awake. It's like, can't you just plant bombs there and blow it to Kingdom Come while it's freaking sleeping?
We can't. Henry's out there.
Henry's out there. No. We gotta kill Henry. What the hell?
I think the reason why we're hyping up Henry, like Henry and Sam are from the game, from the actual source material, but I have to believe that this is a new version of Henry and Sam that they're adapting for the series. Because again, I vaguely remember the Henry and Sam story from the game. I remember it being sad. I remember it being tragic in a way, with everything involving them. But I don't remember this with their story, which it may be something new that they're adding. So that's why I'm just like, man, Kathleen, really? You're really not going to contain this infected threat that just looks like that does not look like regular infected. And if you watch the preview of the episode, you see a big infected that shows up, and I'm like, oh wow, I wonder where that came from. So that'll be cool for next week, a new infected type that's from the game, so that's gonna be cool. But yeah, it's just moments like that. I'm just like,
yeah, like
I'm not in the
part kind of like, I actually chuckled at how dumb she sounded.
Right. It's
because I was like, this
it's absurd.
Why aren't you telling people?
That's why,
like, you have weapons, you have bombs, you can literally plant a bomb there and blow it up.
That's why I have to believe, and I won't know until episode 5, Henry has to be like some Punisher vigilante for he has to be Punisher. For Kathleen to that's what else. Kathleen is prioritizing Henry. Where is Henry? She kills the doctor that delivered her, saying, tell me where Henry is. Tell me where he is.
But no, the reason it's her killing the doctor, the scene, I understand what they were going for, because it was like, so the reason she doesn't kill the doctor out the first time, to a certain, it's really not like emotional. She actually was thinking logically, because the doctor says, I am a doctor, and it's like, she's like, oh shit, like, I'm gonna kill the fucking doctor for this entire, whatever tribe population that you have here. So they go right, and that's when they call her, hey, like, we found these bodies, and she sees that all 3 are dead, and she actually, in one, can the doctor help this guy out?
No, it's too late.
And it's too late, and so she immediately, like, Henry. The first thing that jumps to her mind, like, Henry, and that's when, again, she was already like clouded by revenge, but still she was thinking somewhat logically. And she said, like, oh, what the hell? These guys are dying left and right. The doctor can't save them. Fuck it. And she kills him right there. Because she immediately thinks it's like, oh, it's Henry. So it's like, if he's not going to tell me where Henry is, it's not going to matter. And like, all these people are going to fucking die. So might as well. She kills the doctor. And it's like, again, you see, and even like back, like, now it makes a little bit more sense, like, how stupid she is with the monster. She's hell bent on revenge.
I'm gonna say this to my earlier point, talking about how this is a transition / setup episode. This episode, I will be with y'all calling it the weakest if the next episode doesn't answer for everything that has happened here. If you're gonna have a setup, your delivery better be great. As of right now, we're kind of all over the place with what's going on, whether or not this girl's acting out of logic or emotion. There's clearly a looming threat that is probably more pertinent than any one human could be, So it just begs the question, everything that they have shown us here, I would hope is, what's the word? I don't know, helpful for the next episode, to where it makes sense. Everything, if the arc closes out, I mean, they've got the director. The director is doing this episode and episode 5. Right. I can only imagine, or sometimes it's just half a story, we didn't get to our kind of climax. We just got to our halfway point. So let's hope this not so great of setup pays off in the end by episode 5.
I can be hopeful.
Yeah.
Light in the darkness.
Right. Kingdom Hearts have an ass.
That is from the show, not from Kingdom Hearts.
They got it from Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, you gonna do them like that?
Kingdom Hearts was 2002.
If they mention light and darkness, it has to be Kingdom Hearts.
Always.
Basically.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, we'll likely get some answers next week, and we'll see if it justifies some of the story beats in episode 4. We have Joel and Ellie kind of going to a building and just hiding out until, I guess, the craze blows over. And you get one more moment with Joel and Ellie that I really liked. And again, I just wish the episode was more of this, as opposed to the expansive material of, they're not just, they're not just bandits. They're a resistance group that overthrew the Fedra QZ. And so, but at least we got it at the end where Joel and Ellie, they're having the diarrhea pun joke and everything. And then also the glass, how Ellie tied that back into, the reason why I'm asking, why you're doing that is because it seems to be that you don't have any, really good hearing on your right side. Is that because you were shot there? And then you just get this nice moment. You get this nice moment where Joel is opening up to
No, and
Ellie.
like for the first time to a certain extent, because Ellie's been a pretty open book with Joel.
Yes, very.
And it's nice how it reverses, because he actually, for the first time, is curious about Ellie.
Right.
For the first time, and then he asks her about that thing that you said it wasn't your first time. And he asks, and Ellie says, I don't want to talk about it. It's like the first time, one, that Joel shows interest.
Can I pause you real quick? I'm gonna let you finish, but speaking on this scene too, it's even beautiful. Maybe not beautiful, but remember, so they're in the bed, they're about to fall asleep.
Right.
There's a nice parallel in the beginning of the episode where Ellie rolls over to ask. Well, she rolls over to ask Joel, the joke,
Yeah.
And it shows that, she's caring about Joel and trying to get to know him and, be more than cargo, right?
Exactly.
You're
Cut
not
to
family.
what you're now saying, and you can take it from here.
No,
To
so
where now-
like, and even like piggybacking off of that, like we start the episode, him saying to Ellie, "You are cargo." It's like he doesn't see her as a human being. He doesn't see her as a kid. It's like he sees her as cargo. And the reason I am going through all this trouble is because I made a promise to Tess, the woman I'm with that died.
Right.
The one I was with and died. It's like, you are nothing to me. That's basically what he was saying. I am not interested in getting to know you. You're worthless to me as a human being. Now, when you see the progression of the episode, when the scene where Ellie shoots the guy in the back, and he kind of like shields her away, tells her like, I'm gonna take care of this. And even after that, he's like, how are you feeling? We see for the first time a glimpse of like almost like the fatherly side of Joel.
You don't talk to cargo like that.
You don't talk to cargo like that. And it's like, it's very like awkward for him but it's like he's being a dad there and there. He's being a dad. Like
He's being a good human being.
like a human being saying like, yo, like this hard. And then he says like, you're a kid. You shouldn't have to deal with this. And he even goes for to say, I apologize for putting you in that situation. Like Joel goes all the way to say like, it's my fault. It's not yours. Like you should not feel bad.
He said
like,
he should have seen that guy.
It's like, I should have seen that guy. You should have never had to do that for me. So,
Right.
and it's like he starts seeing like, wow, this is not like, she's a kid. And like, this is hard for him and for her as well. You know, like
Right.
he starts like seeing her in like a different little light. And there's more to her. Like, hell, when she says, oh yeah, this is not my first rodeo doing that. And then she actually says like, oh yeah, like Fedra school. Okay. So now like he starts like getting interested, like, okay, like what's up here? And you see as Joel like becomes like is more, I don't know, like more empathetic, more human the entire time. He's cracking jokes too, even like really snarky jokes.
Yeah.
Like it's like, I'm a freaking 56-year-old. Like I was like, fuck you.
We
I
ain't
gotta take
walking
a
up
break.
all these stairs.
It was in that moment when she you know, after she shot the guy, I think Joe, it clicks.
It clicked. It's like she's a kid.
It clicks.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Come on.
Oh no.
If there was a clicker in the episode, maybe. That was 2 episodes ago. It doesn't work.
Oh man, I thought that was good.
But that was like a turning point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a turning point. Like he actually, oh shit, like she's actually a kid and she just shot this guy in the back, and holy shit. It's the loss of innocence as you've been saying throughout like the entirety of the episode. In a way, it is Ellie's loss of innocence. Really not, but it's, you know, in his eyes it is.
He's trying to maintain it the whole time. And then, as you said too, there are sprinkles throughout of him acting like a fatherly figure, you know, tells her about Chef Boyardee, teaches her how to read a map.
Yeah.
You know, and there are often moments where Joel has to remember that a lot of this is just new to her.
Yeah.
These are her first experiences. She's like, holy shit, man, I just rode in a car 2 days ago. I don't know how this works. Like,
Yeah.
I get
It's
it.
like-
You know, I don't even know what the context of what she said that was for, but I'm like, oh,
No, it was like,
I get it.
yeah, like it was like when reading the map to try to figure out like which way they were going to get out of the freaking city, and she was like, "What
Right.
the fuck, bro? Like you gave me this map. I didn't know this existed."
I didn't know that there was a world outside Boston.
It's like, yeah. So it's nice how there's a change in the relationship and the tone and everything between Joel and Ellie like after that that like fight scene. And at the end of the episode, like really we see the culmination that where Joel, like Ellie does this stupid joke, like
I thought it was hilarious.
That was a good joke.
I know,
That
like
was a good
it was actually pretty good. But like I mean, like these really cheesy jokes from a book that she's been doing throughout this entire time, and Joel is like, shut the fuck up, go to sleep the entire time, and here he finally cracks a laugh. He finally starts laughing, he just lets go, and he's just like, he's relaxed, he's at peace, he's let his guard down.
Right. He's starting to open up.
He's starting to open up. It's like, well, this is a kid. What the hell? And Ellie was totally right. Like your right ear is fucked up, and he didn't hear them.
He did not hear.
Well, interestingly
boys.
enough, his right ear was up when he was on his side when the ending of the episode.
Which makes sense because like his right ear is his bad ear.
Right.
Oh, his right ear is the bad ear. Got it.
it's
Okay.
bad ear.
Yes.
So
That's
if
why,
he was
like
laying
at the
on that
beginning,
side,
when she
and-
says that, he's turning to the side of the glass so that his left ear
Right.
is the one that's up.
Yes. Yes.
But when we go forward in the scene, that is like, Joe, his right ear is up.
Oh my God. The fact that she had to yell it for him to
Yes.
wake up. That's another
Exactly.
one.
She had to yell like,
Nice.
Joe, like wake the fuck up. There's someone here. It's
God
like,
damn it. Put glass all over. I don't know. Or
Or have Ellie
look-
sleep on that side. I don't know.
So,
Let
yeah,
her
like,
wake up, Joel. Oh, Joel, someone's here. Wake up. And then
so it's
you
like
wake up.
Ellie is the one that wakes him up because he had his right ear up and he didn't hear shit.
But
Right.
see, talking about Ellie being the one sleeping on that side, that's that protective nature.
Right. She shouldn't be the one to be the first responder to someone opening that door and
Right.
whoever it is.
Exactly.
Ooh, good. I like attention to detail.
There's layers, you could say. Like
there
an
sure
onion.
are. Or how about
Like a cake. Cakes
how
have
about there
layers.
are caps to this shit, like a mushroom or a fungus.
I like no. The
'Cause, you know,
layer is-
fungus, the whole.
yes, I get it. Caps with mushroom. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Let's,
No.
let's,
All right,
let's-
all right, it's okay. Just thought I'd try another one.
like E for effort, but you know.
Thanks.
Uh, but yeah, you close out the episode with this. You get two strangers coming in. I think it's kind of obvious who the strangers are.
I have a
Or-
question.
Yes,
Are they black in the video game?
yes,
Okay, just wanted to know.
they are. Who are you? Who do you mean by they?
Sam and
Yes,
Henry.
Sam and Henry. Yeah,
Okay.
Henry
wanted
and
to know.
Sam. Yeah.
Okay.
And you'll learn about their relationship, I guess, next week. But I'm very interested in this because their story is very emotionally gripping on the same level. Well, you know what's funny? This will be interesting because of the characters that I think Joel and Ellie meet on their journey. I remember Bill and I remember Sam and Henry. And from what I remember, Sam and Henry were the emotionally gripping storyline from the side characters that they encountered. It wasn't Bill. Bill was not Bill was just like a cool badass character that was a survivalist. So for them to change that in the show, where now the emotionally gripping moment is with Bill and Frank, I'm wondering, they have to take it a mile and above for Henry and Sam, or maybe they'll keep it the same, just have two gripping moments or gripping stories or whatever.
What I saw on Twitter after the
Did
reaction.
you spoil yourself?
No. I didn't spoil.
Okay.
Just the reaction to episode 3. People on Twitter were like, "You think this is bad? Just wait till we get to Henry and Sam."
Henry and Sam. And, oh God, yeah. People are.
And I
not ready
didn't
for
look
Henry
any
and Sam.
further into it other
Don't.
than that.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm not.
Don't do it.
I'm enjoying what's been given. So yeah, no, I don't want to know anymore. Granted, you just told me everything about number 2 over the weekend. Last of Us Part 2.
You asked. You literally asked.
I did. It's okay.
Plus, I mean, I left out certain details so that you don't know what happens in part 1. So
Right. But I'm enjoying this. I have no idea what to expect from their story or whatever the hell's going on. The preview definitely with the big one. I don't know what you all. Is there a name for that?
bloater.
The
A
bloater.
bloater.
Yes.
all
Another
right.
rumored type.
They
that-
actually made up for a comment in the second episode that
Yes.
foreshadows the bloater.
Oh, they did.
They did. If you remember when Ellie was walking with Tess and Joel, there was a moment where I think it was Ellie that was saying, "Yeah, I heard rumors that there were infected that could that couldn't see, so they used echolocation or something. And then there was ones that were really big and buff, and they throw their own fungi at people to explode or do whatever."
That's what they do.
That's what, she was saying, I've heard rumors about these things.
Right.
And so in that same episode, we got introduced to clickers.
Right.
And then the other type she was describing was a bloater. And in
I'm
the
so sorry.
preview, we see a
So-
bloater.
Clickers is not the universal term. Infected is the universal term.
Infected is
clickers-
a universal term.
Clickers is a sub of.
Is a sub. if you want to think of it as like the most gruesome stage of being infected, because infected is just like, oh, maybe they have like a mushroom off the side of their head, and
Okay.
but like they have eyes, nose, mouth, everything. They look normal. Clickers are so infected that their eyes, they're gone. They can't see. So in
Okay.
order to see, they make those sounds. They're so that it's echolocation. They're trying to figure out where their prey is.
Oh, that's what they're doing. I didn't even know that was echolocation.
You didn't know what they were doing?
I thought they could just hear.
I mean, it's a mix of that. They're trying to find out where you are, but it's the hearing that they can really home in on. You step on some glass, they're gonna hear it, and you're dead. So that's a clicker, and then a bloater is like, ew. It's just, they might as well be a walking mushroom. Which I imagine where Kathleen and Perry saw underneath that building, the sinking concrete. A bloater is probably gonna come out of that. I don't know, like it has to.
I mean, no doubt. Just here to fuck
Right.
it out.
Right. But I'm excited for next week. I want to see how they're gonna tie up everything together. I want to see if the misunderstandings will be resolved, or if we'll get some more backdrop on the story of Henry and Sam, and what additional layers are being added to them, because for Kathleen to focus on them, they must be badasses. They must be Punisher and Daredevil in this area. But any last thoughts on episode 4 of The Last of Us, or kind of, I guess, what you're looking forward to for episode 5, this being like a part 1?
Yeah, I just need episode 5 to deliver. If it does not, I shall join y'all saying this was the weakest entry thus far. Because so far, continually, I think the show has been delivering. However, if this is like an arc, obviously each arc, obviously you might be more invested or get more from the experience than others. So I need episode 5 to deliver, and I need Kathleen. Oh God, that name is not even intimidating. I need Kathleen to come in.
Would you wonder what, Karen or something?
Oh, maybe they thought about calling her Karen. Maybe
That would have been very funny.
Karen led a revolt. Like,
Oh wow, is that?
You can't be in here. Do you have a wristband?
Do you live here, Fedra? What's your apartment number, Fedra?
But they said we can't call her Karen. We'll call her Kathleen. Close enough.
Close enough.
But yeah, that's it for me. Episode 5, deliver, please, before these two come back and chew me out.
We'll be waiting. Let's see if they deliver for the emotional bit for episode 5. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our thoughts here on the Yonko table. Definitely a different type of episode this week. I think we all pretty much agree the best moments were just the Joel and Ellie bits, and we'll see if the remaining portions of this episode have some payoff in episode 5. I imagine it's going to be action oriented to some degree. They're encountering a bloater for the first time, and for those that played the games, y'all know bloaters take a bunch of ammo to take out, so it won't be an easy feat. It will not be an easy feat, but we'll see how they handle it with the show. But let us know what you all think in the comments below on what you thought of the episode. Was this your favorite episode so far? What were your favorite moments between Joel and Ellie? Are you here for Kathleen and her revolt of Fedra? I think the idea is cool that they revolted against Fedra, but I'm just not buying Kathleen. I just don't see it. Maybe give her an eye patch or something to show that she's seen war. I don't know. But let us know what you think down in the comments below, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, at the Yonko Table. If you want to see some of our gaming stuff, check out at Dr. Jason Attorney on Twitch. We're playing Elden Ring. We just beat Millennia. Go check it out. And yeah, we'll catch you next time, folks, for Friday. By the way, Friday will be episode 5 of The Last of Us because it's Super Bowl weekend on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. We'll maybe do a pod on Friday. Maybe. We'll figure it out. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Catch you next time, folks. Yonko host, Dr. Jason Attorney, fellow Yonko Grandmaster Hoop, and Supernova Dr. Mondo. Signing off. Take care.